All right, motherfuckers. Welcome to Shit Happens When You Party Naked. It's an awesome podcast. I'm joined by my wife, Christina. What's up, Christina?
Hey, everyone.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
It's just me and her tonight. It's just a Team Elmy night. It's just the two of us. Just the two of us. I'm pouring us a bourbon, just the two. Actually, it's rye. It's not bourbon. It's rye.
That's where it all started, though.
It's a little Woodford rye. I
think you dribbled.
I always dribble a little bit. I'm getting old.
You dribbled a lot, actually.
I actually should have brought a napkin. I was pouring at a really bad angle. It was a terrible angle for a pour.
Nick would not approve.
I'm so sorry, Nick. Crazy eyes, Nick. I'm so sorry I spilled booze. So it's your favorite rye, honey.
It is, and I'm sipping a little Fireball.
Oh, you still have Fireball left, huh? Mm-hmm. No wonder you're in such a good mood.
Won't last. I only have half a shooter left.
Only half a shooter left. That's fucking travesty.
Fireball's only the best whiskey ever made.
I feel like there's a lot of people around here who would disagree with you on Fireball being the best whiskey.
I would like the best. I can drink it like quick and just get fucked up. You know, like you can just drink it. It's so good, and bam, then you're fucked up because you can just drink it so fast because it's so tasty. It's like eating a bunch of hot cinnamon.
I was going to say, it's like eating a whole lot of... It's like when Bill Cosby invites you over and he's like, here, drink this. You're like, oh, this is so good.
Yeah, that's actually exactly what it's like. Yeah.
And then you wake up and your butthole really hurts.
Mm-hmm. It's weird I'm not pregnant yet.
Is it really weird that you're not pregnant yet? Full disclosure for everybody listening, we are trying to conceive. As ill-advised as that might be, Christina and I are trying to have our first of 4 babies. We're going to have 4 babies, right? We're going to have 4 kids.
Yeah, I tell you, if you can make some money, we sure can have those 4 babies.
Let's have 4 babies. I think 4 babies would be wonderful.
That means you're going to go work, motherfucker.
I think the nice thing about 4 babies is if we run into some hard times, we can always sell.
Sell one off?
Yeah, we always sell one off, you know what I mean?
Or if one doesn't really work out.
Yeah, or if one doesn't really work out.
You're an asshole.
Yeah, you're a dickhead.
Never mind.
Get the fuck out.
Go away.
We don't enjoy you that much after all.
No.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, change our minds.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to give that one back. We drop one off at the fire station. Still
or wherever.
3 left. Yeah, so I spent so much time as a competitive bodybuilder, very seriously competitive bodybuilder, with all of the various things that come with competitive bodybuilding that
your balls.
My balls don't come with competitive bodybuilding. They actually go away with competitive bodybuilding.
Yeah. I had a hard time finding them.
I'm trying to be somewhat subtle here, so thank you. Yeah, I can tell that you're not. I can really,
I've been waiting for this topic.
You've been really waiting. You've been counting the days on the calendar for us to talk about this bullshit. So I had to book an appointment. I had to go see an endocrinologist. Of course, I see an endocrinologist because I'm a type 1 diabetic, but I have to see an endocrinologist, and I had to get a referral to a urologist. The urologist is going to do various tests on my fertility. In fact, today in the mail, you can hear this. This here is the work order for the semen analysis that I have to do.
Order.
This is the work order. Yeah, the work order. The jerk order. It's the jerk order because obviously one of us is going to be jerking me off into a cup. The DX code is male infertility unspecified. Pick you? Yeah, well,
pick me.
I would hope so because
last time my mom.
Last time a nurse jerked me off, it was a little weird, and his hands were really big, kind of uncomfortable, and it was a little weird. It was, it's unlike anything I'm used to.
Did you come?
Well,
eventually.
Yeah, I mean, that is my talent in life. I always come.
I feel like you missed a whole part of the story, though.
No. We've got plenty of time.
Okay, we're gonna fill it in. Okay.
We can go back. I just wanted to say what struck me when I was looking at this lab requisition was the DX code was male infertility unspecified. Semen analysis. So they're going to specify. That's the whole point of this, right? Is to figure out, hey, is this dude shooting blanks? Is there anything wrong with his
Can I see the paper?
semen, his baby batter, his spunk, his splooge, his man chowder? What's wrong with his dick milk?
And so what's going to be fun is you're going to have to... Are we going to have to call somebody?
I imagine they'll call us when they get the results.
Well, but what about going into it? I mean, I'm sure there's going to be like a specific cup and instructions.
I guess since no one can see what we're handling, the materials that they sent us an envelope with a requisition, and anyone who's had a lab requisition for blood work or other medical testing knows that it's just a piece of paper folded up that you take with you to like a lab core or something like that. So the deal with the requisition is that obviously I'm not just going to jack off on the paper, fold it up, and cram it right back in the envelope and send it to them, right? I mean, I need like
somebody else's sperm might be on that, so...
I sure hope not. Jesus. I know mail carriers. I sure as hell hope not. There's at least a couple listening to this. I hope that there's no semen already on this requisition form, although we can shine the black light on it.
We could. But at any rate, so that's just saying it's not the best.
Yeah. What I'm saying is, that's not a very scientific test. If I just jack off on the requisition, cram it in an envelope, and send it back to them, I need to go in and obtain a sterile cup. They want me to, obviously they're going to want me to use a receptacle. That's excellent. It's really good.
Maybe you'll use that. Maybe you won't.
Maybe. I mean, it sounded pretty good. I might have to. I might have to use that. God, I love the magic of editing.
I don't know.
How are we not pregnant yet? I'm so hard right now. If you keep that up, we're going to do it for like a fourth time today. I mean, fuck. How are we not with that? With that, if you just keep that up, how are we not pregnant?
Good foreplay.
It is very good foreplay.
Yeah. So my biggest question is...
I think I can smell it, actually, from here. That's incredible.
It's incredible. Because we didn't open the windows.
I can feel it move. Well, yeah, it's noisy out there, though. I can feel it move.
I know, but remember you were giving me the instruction that if you get pulled over...
Yeah.
That you open the windows prior to meeting the cop.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, before you pull over.
If you've been drinking.
Yeah, roll the windows down as you're pulling over so that the fresh air will blow all the old air out. Yeah. You want there to be nothing but fresh air between you and the cop.
You should have like 9 commandments of if you're going to have a couple drinks and drive, the do's and don'ts.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's something we could develop as part of this, like an ongoing, I guess an ongoing thing as part of this podcast could be like, I mean, I have a feeling that we're a bad influence in general.
So now we need to teach you some safety tricks.
So yeah, let's dispense
tips.
some advice. I think this would be a wonderful opportunity to dispense some advice.
So you just gave your first number one commandment.
I feel like that was the first tip. When you get pulled over by the police, turn this program down, but then roll your windows down as you're pulling over. So you're still going like 30 miles an hour, 20 miles an hour, 10 miles an hour. While your windows are down, it's going to blow all of the old air out. You want that old air that you've been recycling, like you've been breathing in the car, and it's been shut up in the car. So, of course, when you roll your window down, the officer's standing right there. He's going to smell the booze in your breath. What you need to do is roll those windows down as you're pulling over, right? For the last 100 yards or so, have those windows down, have the sunroof open if you've got a sunroof, and really like let that car clear out as you're pulling over, which is good. I mean, unless you plan to murder the police officer, and then in which case, do your thing. Yeah, it doesn't matter. You're going to kill him anyway. So, yeah, I guess that's the big news in my life is that I got to jack off on somebody's microscope slide so that they can analyze my semen to make sure that the sperm count and motility is good to go.
I still have questions.
Yeah, what's your question?
So we have the lab order. So are we going to be going to the hospital, getting a cup and going home and filling the cup? Or are we going to be staying at the hospital and filling the cup?
I don't believe we'll be checking into the hospital.
It's not.
I don't think they're going to have me change into a gown or anything like that.
No, but are we going to go into a room? He's turning a little bit red. Which is the whole fucking goal.
That's an excellent question. I mean, I imagine that they're going to give me a cup, from what I've heard, at least.
Who'd you hear it
others.
from? Did you read it on Reddit or something?
I've read a little online, but I have had some close friends who have also gone through the fertility thing and all of the requisite testing. And so since I've had friends who go through all of that requisite testing, I mean, I have a little bit of foreknowledge, but I think they give you a sterile cup. They let you go home to produce the specimen at your leisure, and then you will bring the specimen back, but you have a certain amount of time in which you need to bring that specimen back. You can't just jerk off in the cup and then wait 2 days and then take it back, because anybody who's ever used a sock to clean up, that shit dries up, crusts up. That sock is like stiff as a board, so you can't wait too long. You got to get that. You got to get that jizz to them before too long.
And so, with taking care of that cup of jizz, do we refrigerate it?
It's probably not like the new kidney that I'm going to require in a couple of years. I don't think you have to put it in a cooler.
Okay, so you're able to leave it out at room temperature.
I mean, I think you produce the sample, and then you probably have about a half hour or so to get it.
Half hour?
Yes.
Wow,
yeah.
So we have to plan.
Yes. Yeah.
So it can't be at like 2 o'clock in the morning.
No.
Post a couple drinks.
Yeah, you're not going to roll over at like 1 a.m. and think, ooh, hey.
Let's take care of that cup.
Yeah, look at that. Hey, where's that cup? Because if it happens at 1 in the morning.
Where's that cup when you need it?
No, what's going to happen is it's 1 in the morning. You roll over. You're like, whoa, hey, I'm feeling good. All right, let's do this. And where's that cup? You're going to wind up grabbing whatever water cup is like, in your kind of midnight stupor as it's dark out and you're sleepy. You reach for that cup that's on the bedside table, and then I'm going to wind up jacking off in your water or something like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not going to grab the right cup at 1 a.m.
Okay, so that's cool. So we're going to have to go get the cup.
Yep.
It's going to have to be between the business hours.
Yeah.
Really, it doesn't seem like it's a weekend thing unless they're open. So it'll probably behoove us to find out what the hours of operations are so we can plan accordingly. Yeah. And so I also wanted to back up a little bit because as I said earlier, I feel like we missed a little bit of the story.
Okay.
So, we've been trying to have babies for how long would you say?
I mean, seriously trying. We've been married for like a little over 2 years now. It's not quite 2.5, but it's getting close to 2.5. And I think if we had conceived at any point after we got married, I think we would have been okay with that. But legit trying, I think it's been, maybe a little bit up under a year or so. Yes,
I agree. And so we agreed that, we probably needed, because I was going to the gynecologist and we decided that we needed to likely do some testing or whatever.
Yeah.
And so you went to the endocrinologist because you wanted to get your information test, or you talked to him, and he told you that you needed to go to the urologist,
yeah.
And then it required you to call somebody.
I feel like a urinologist is a guy who likes to get peed on a whole lot.
Might be
sexually.
urologist.
Yeah.
So how efficiently did you complete the task of calling the urologist? And did you need any help from, say, myself?
So from like maybe my mother-in-law.
Yeah.
I had a feeling I knew where you were going.
Let's open that
with
up
this
a little
bullshit.
bit.
Yeah, I knew where you were going with this bullshit for a minute. I knew where you were going. Yeah, okay, look.
Bullshit. Let's talk about bullshit. You needed my mother-in-law to fucking text you in every fucking morning to remind you to call the doctors. But so any females out there who are married, if you need something to get done, this was a very effective method because it only took about a week of my mom texting him.
All right, what I'll say is that Look, any females out there that want to make your husband completely flaccid and soft for the entirety of the day, why don't you get your mom, his mother-in-law, to fucking text your husband about getting her fucking pregnant? 'Cause I tell you what, that shit worked about the opposite of fucking Spanish fly. That shit was like the inverse of Cialis. That shit made my fucking dick go back inside me. That shit was fucking softer than fucking spaghetti noodle had been overcooked. I'm telling you what, if there was an aphrodisiac, that shit ain't it. Your mother-in-law fucking sending you a text in the morning saying, "Oh, hey, have you gotten my fucking daughter pregnant yet? Hey, play with your dick. She offered to bring me fucking porn last time we had them over. She said she'd bring me a fucking magazine to produce my sample.
I think it's very considerate.
Yeah, okay, look.
She's just a team player.
It's very kind of her. And clearly she wants another grandkid.
She does.
She's already got like 7 grandkids, but clearly she wants another. That's cool.
She has, I think, 8.
Yeah, but and I'm totally cool with providing her with more. But listen, I don't need her standing behind me pushing my hips to help me with the thrusting, if you know what I mean. I appreciate the support from afar, from very afar. I need the support way out there. So what my wife had my mother-in-law doing was fucking texting me every day, like, "Hey, did you call your doctor yet? And
let me say something real quick. It wasn't even my idea. This was her idea. Just putting that out there.
You know what? Honestly, I
just gave her the green light.
It was a fucking terrible idea. You shouldn't give me the green light. Why? It was a terrible idea. Why do you let her do that? But she's texting me every day telling me to, call the doctor and shit. I'm like, look.
And she's even giving you tips of, hey, if you're eating, if you're driving to work, perfect time for you to call. Perfect time. So she was like even... trying to help out with this, like when.
My mother-in-law texts me and says, "If you're jerking off right now, consider you could be jacking off into a sterile cup and handing it to the fucking doctor so they could test your fucking sperm so you can make me a grandkid. So stop jerking off into a fucking tissue."
You're wasting it.
Don't throw it away. Don't let that swirl down the drain and go right down the fucking shower drain. Stop it.
And then there was one time when she texted you, and I think it was before she started messaging you the daily reminders, and she was like, "Hey, have you gotten that test yet of your little swimmers?"
Yeah, that wasn't weird. I need to have a talk with Earl and be like, "Dude, come on, man. Hook me. You're a guy. You got to know how this feels. Come on, help me out here, Earl."
You could feel Jason's red cheeks through the text. It was awesome.
It's difficult to embarrass me, I will admit. I'm oftentimes credited with, like Daredevil, the Marvel Comics character. Daredevil is the man without fear. I am the man without embarrassment. I don't feel embarrassed. It just doesn't affect me. I don't give a shit. I mean, if you've heard this podcast more than once, I don't give a fuck. But that was like one of the few things. It was my mother-in-law, my sweet mother-in-law. She's a nice little lady. She goes to church every Sunday. She doesn't like people saying the F word, but she will talk about my ejaculate. It's a little weird. It's just a little weird for me.
That's so funny.
She's like encouraging me to jack off on a microscope slide. I got to jack off on some dude's microscope. And sleep with her daughter. Mm-hmm. Although we're married now, they have to know that's going on. It's not like they can pretend.
No.
Like that's not
She wants it to happen so we can give her a baby.
She does. Did you tell her that we stick to anal sex? Because that's kind of makes it a little harder to conceive. We probably should switch to vaginal, shouldn't we?
That's probably
why it's taken almost a year, right?
Maybe we should hold off on the testing.
Yeah.
We've obviously been doing it wrong.
Yeah. I mean, I read that on the internet today. So last week, when we were graciously hosted by our podcast NH brethren, Meter and Pepin of the show We Need to Talk.
Love them.
Yeah, that was a fun time, wasn't it?
That was so much fun.
I had a ton of fun hanging out with those two dudes. It's always fun to hang out with a couple of other people that are into the weird shit you're into, podcasting and porn and Shake That Bear and stuff. So we had a great time hanging out with them. I encourage everybody to check out their show, We Need to Talk. Hook up with them on Twitter at WNTT1, I believe, on Twitter. Hook up with them. Listen to their show after this. Go download it on iTunes or Google Play or Stitcher or wherever. But
they're fantastic.
Yeah, they were a ton of fun to hang out with. But I feel like we did have quite a long conversation between recording their podcast and then recording our podcast back to back. I feel like we did have a lot of chance to talk about like porn and sex toys, especially when I was
so much porn.
Remember when I was going through that bag, I was trying to find the shirts that I was going to give him. I made these nice shit happens when you party naked t-shirts. Also, feel free to email me if you want a t-shirt, jason.alme, A-L-M-E, @teamalme.com. We have shit happens when you party naked t-shirts now.
And I would say there's 2 options of the t-shirts. 1, if you want one that's never been worn. Or 2, if you would like the t-shirt that Jason has not stopped wearing since he got his t-shirt. I think we're about 3 weeks in.
It's not 3 weeks.
It's never been washed.
No.
He sometimes sleeps with this. Mostly does not, though, because normally he likes to sleep in the nude.
Sleep naked. Loves sleeping
naked. He loves sleeping naked. But, so that one would be actually, a couple dollars more expensive.
Yeah.
So I feel like that has a little bit of, Jason juice in it. Maybe a little Jason sweat. I don't know.
I was going to say the Jason juice sounds like what I need to submit to this fucking lab over here so they can examine it. Is the Jason juice.
Well, you might find a little bit of that. Depends on how erect and how much it's shot up.
Oh, yeah.
So it just might be on the bottom of your t-shirt. It might be a little spot.
Yeah. Well, there might be a...
But there's 2 shirts
dick-shaped shit smear on the shirt. But yeah, we have shirts, and I gave them some shirts. And you remember when I was like looking through the bag, I was trying to find the shirts, and there was a ton of other stuff in the bag.
It's so weird that it just was in that bag.
I just grabbed the closest bag. I didn't really, we were in a hurry. So I grabbed the closest bag, and so as I'm going through it, I'm pulling out lube, I pull out handcuffs, I pull out a vibrator, I pull out another bigger, pinker vibrator with the little hummingbird on it.
He has a girlfriend that he hangs out with too?
Absolutely not. So I was just thinking, though, in the wake of that embarrassing moment when we pulled out all of the sex shit in front of Meter and Pepin, that do you feel like women have better sex toys than men? Like the sex toys that are designed for men, we talked about a little bit, too, with the fleshlights and the pocket pussies. But
pocket pussy.
Let me tell you about a pocket pussy.
That thing was freaking crazy.
A pocket pussy is basically an old tennis ball with a hole cut in it that you fuck. It's a piece of rubber with a hole in it that you put your dick in. What I'm saying, though, my main thesis, the drive of this whole topic that I've brought up to you is that I feel like men's sex toys are rather... Subpar. I feel like they're rather like men's... what am I going for? Our standards. Men's standards are relatively low.
Much.
Yeah, give me a hole... Hopefully something that's not totally cold, and I will thrust my penis in it until I come. Yeah, I'm good.
An apple pie.
Good. Boom. Yeah, well, that was a movie. I don't know anybody that actually did that in real life. But what I'm saying is, though, that looking at these sex toys for women, there's this pink thing, and it's got these little balls on the inside that, like, rotate, and the other thing's, like, hammering your clit.
It was a hummingbird.
Yeah, the hummingbird's, like, ramming your clit while the other thing's rotating 360 and going in and out, and the whole thing's, like, fucking going crazy. Meanwhile, I'm having sex with a tennis ball with a fucking hole cut in it. What is this?
It's true.
So my question, do you feel like women have better sex toys?
I mean, I guess what's interesting is this show has really educated me on some of the sex toys available for males.
For men, maybe, but you had these sex toys well before we began the show. Before you and I even started dating somebody, you had some sex toys. So you had to have known what was available for women, at least.
For women, yes. And that fancy schmancy vibrator you were just referring to that had the rotating head, the hummingbird, to really stimulate the clitoris. That thing is similar to, I think it's called the Rabbit. So it's a similar vibrator. It's like $80 or $90.
Whoa.
And to me, it's really a crock of shit. It's unnecessary. I don't know how much males use sex toys. I think that the sex market, the toys on the market, females, I feel like it's more socially acceptable, and like females just more commonly have their quote unquote drawer of sex toys. So it seems like they're, and it's in like girls getting a female off is more complicated, or like the females are going to want something a little bit cuter or sexier or something. Whereas a dude, just give them something to thrust into that's compressing their dick a little bit, and don't make it cold, as you said, and that seems good. So I would say that there's probably a little bit more money put into the female sex toy.
I'm glad you agree, because it sounds like you concur with me, and I think that
Was that a long answer?
It's fine. Yeah, I mean, it was well thought out. Clearly, you've considered this topic. And I just feel like that with the sex toys, like you said, guys are maybe somewhat easy to please, And do we really want to spend $90 on something that's gonna, 20 seconds of pleasure? But hold on. It's 20 seconds of pleasure, but it's also 4 times a day, 7 days a week, 31 days every single month, including February.
So it needs more longevity.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, is don't be able to wear this thing out. I mean, you don't need it to go for a whole hour, because why the fuck would you do that? Who's jacking off?
So it doesn't need a big battery.
No.
If it has a battery.
If it even has a battery. Most of these things are like, it's rubber that's molded in the shape of vagina, and you just, like I said.
Can I tell you a story?
You have a story?
Yeah.
Tell me a story. Tell me.
So this was before we were together.
Whoa.
And it was actually when I must have been between grad school and my internship, because I was living with my parents. Okay. And so I had a good amount of wine, like a decent, I was drunk on wine.
Where are we going with this?
Don't worry. And so
I'm a little worried.
Well, that's okay. I think it's okay if you're worried. So it's a sharing story.
Yeah, I feel like you're about to share.
We could always cut this out if it feels like it's too much. And so I had a bunch of wine, had my vibrator, watched some fun videos.
Oh.
Yeah.
On the computer?
On my computer.
I see.
And guess how many times I made myself get off with the vibrator?
1.5.
That would have been a sad night.
Indeed. 37.
No, about a third of that.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That sounds like a dozen.
Yeah.
A baker's dozen?
It was a dozen. A dozen.
So that brings up my next point, actually. That actually elucidates my next point almost perfectly.
You're
almost
welcome.
More eloquently than I could. Yeah, thank you. I feel like maybe when you're, as a man at least, I can't speak as a lady because I've never been a lady, but as a man, when you are presented with the multitude of very highly specialized female sexual toys, all of the stuff that's available for you women. Mm-hmm. And you just mentioned the thing that stimulates the clit, plus it's got the rotating head, plus it's that thing does shit that's physiologically not possible for me. I mean, the fucking head rotates? What am I going to get the head of my cock and my bell end to spin around like the Exorcist head?
You're going to get in me, and then you're going to just kind of spin your body. So your penis is like the kickstand, and then you'll just kind of somehow spin around.
Like my whole body?
Like hands up, feet up, and just...
Yeah, and you're going to spin me like...
I'll move your feet.
Yeah. Yeah, every time the feet go back past, you'll hit them again, and I'll just... But what happens when I get dizzy on that ride?
Oh, my God.
I feel like I'm going to get dizzy. I feel like I'm going to get
plant.
dizzy. Yeah, I feel like I'd fall right off. I don't feel like I'd be able to maintain that for very long at all. I don't think I'd be able to maintain that for long enough to be pleasurable. And fact is, as a man, I look at that pink thing with the hummingbird and shit, and I'm impressed. Looking at that thing with the balls, it's got the head that rotates, it's got the clitoral stimulator, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Is it at all intimidating?
Well, that's what I'm getting at is on the one hand, I'm impressed, human ingenuity, the fact that we could even make such a thing. We're an incredible species. I mean, fuck the Apollo missions, fuck Tesla, fuck going to Mars, fuck SpaceX, the dildos we can make, the fucking vibrators that we can make. It's incredible. It says something for us as a species. But then on the other hand, you look at this thing and you're like, look, I'm obsolete now. I'm just flesh and blood. This thing is a fucking creation of science that fucking does shit inside a vagina that I fucking never dreamed of. Even as a 13-year-old, I couldn't fucking think of doing this shit to some poor girl's vagina that this thing could do. I should just go home. I should retire right now. So it's a little intimidating, as you said.
Yeah, I've heard that some people speculate that once a female has started using a vibrator, that it's difficult for a male to please her at like going down on her because the vibration of the clit is so fast and hard to actually simulate. But I don't think that's true.
Look, I'm going to tell you,
that was just said by a female to make the males work harder.
You think so? Like, I keep getting into it. But I actually think that maybe they said that to make the males work harder, but then maybe it is true to some degree, because it's like, look, I mean, my mom made great sandwiches, but now I'm going to Moe's, and that fucking shit, fuck it. I'm not having what my mom made anymore. A fucking ham sandwich, the bologna my mom used to make when I was fucking 6. Fuck that. I've had Moe's. I've had the fucking Italian. I've had the fucking turkey from Moe's with the fucking. You get the onions on there. You get the cheese. It's perfect. The bread just right. You get a little mayo on there. You get a little oil and vinegar. You get the lettuce. Oh, it's so fucking good. Fuck what my mom made. That's the dildos, right? Like, but holy shit, this thing goes to.
I think that's an excellent comparison, because the Moe's sandwich is not made with love. It's just slapped together. They don't care about you. You just go up, you order it, you get it. And that's similar to the vibrator. But when your mom makes it, you're having some conversation. She's making with love. There's memories associated with it. She's sitting down talking to you. So there's like a whole different experience and in like emotion that's going to build the enjoyment of the sandwich. So I think because of that, the vibrator can never replace being intimate with somebody's significant other. Because it's just a stand-in. We saw the batteries on the spinning purple vibrator, but were corroded. I don't even know that.
Yeah. So I guess what you're trying to say to me is that...
Big fucking compliment.
It feels complimentary. So what you're saying to me is that the vibrators, with all of their fancy, all the different bells and whistles they've got, it's not quite the same as me with my hairy back and my body odor and the sweat and you're saying that it's a better overall experience to be able to like run your fingers through my back hair, is what you're saying. Is that the vibrator can't provide you with that? No.
The vibrator's bald.
Yeah, and it can't roll off of you and be like, oh, it was great, sweetheart. Your vibrator doesn't start to snore immediately after, right?
But don't worry, I still pick you, baby.
Thank you. That makes me feel much better. I hope we can get pregnant after that conversation.
I don't see how we couldn't.
That was not emasculating at all.
Oh my God, so funny.
The conversations we have when we drink. All right. So, if you couldn't tell from that last conversation, my wife and I are just a really stupendous couple, I think. Without tooting our own horn, I think we are just a really wonderful, great couple. And I think oftentimes, and we, I just said we've been married for a little over 2 years. It's been like, I don't know, coming up on 2.5 years. So it's not like we've been married forever. We haven't been married forever. We've been together for a little over 5 years. Married for a little over 2.
It's been awesome.
It has been awesome. I've loved every minute of it. But what I'm trying to say, I guess, is that it's not like we've been married forever. Mm-hmm. It's not like, we're not like your 80-year-old grandparents that have been married for 70 years they got married when they're 10? Your 80-year-old grandparents have been married for 70 years. I don't think that would work mathematically. People still do sometimes ask us, like, wow, you guys are like a really great married couple. You guys
I hear that all the time.
Yeah.
I honestly think people give us great...
we get a lot of credit, I think.
We do, and I agree. I think that I'm excited about our marriage and our relationship, and
What the fuck, man? What are you doing over there? What are you drinking?
I think it's because I was full. No, I think it was because of dinner. I think I just maybe...
You're gassy because of dinner?
I don't know. I think maybe I ate it fast. What the fuck was I starting to say?
We were just talking about how just enthusiastic we are about being married, I think.
Oh, yeah. And it's interesting being married because you're like obviously... you're my longest relationship. Like I've never been in a long-term relationship. And so it's really interesting experiencing this with you.
Yeah.
And... experiencing the getting to know someone and melding and growing together and stuff, and it's awesome.
Yeah,
like I fucking love it.
I fucking love it too. I totally agree. But are you ever asked for advice? I mean, would you say that we're at a point, I know that we're still kind of new to the whole marriage thing with each other, but would you think that we're in a position to provide advice? Because I mean, sometimes we do get asked.
I feel like we're in a position to say, because I think 5 years is not a small feat.
True.
At all. Fucking all. Holy motherfuck, at all.
I feel like I don't know. What does that mean? I feel like your implication is maybe that
it's, you can, like, we've gone through our periods where... melding or molding or merging is the right word. Merging your life with somebody is a new experience. And I think, you're taking two completely different people and you're trying to live as one. And that can present, different things. Like you're used to living your way, I'm used to living my way. But I think the way to go about it is talking and communicating and being open about it.
For instance, I'm used to peeing in the shower and you like to shower with me. So that can be a conflict, right? I mean...
Yeah, no peeing in the shower. So there had to be some ground rules that we were both comfortable with. But again, it goes back to communication.
I see.
Yeah. We had to be okay talking about it in an open way. And, you told me you like to pee in the shower... And you asked me, how do I feel about that?
Yeah.
And I felt safe to tell you that I think it's fucking gross.
What?
And unless you want to clean the motherfucking shower,
every time sterile.
I'm talking every time.
I'm talking, motherfucker.
Every time after you pee.
How are you going to clean every time? Urine is sterile. It's urea. It's nitrogenous waste and water.
It's not
dissolved in water.
sterile.
Urine is perfectly sterile. Dare you to look that up online, right?
Well, I know that, it has some qualities. However,
it's still pee.
It's considered waste.
It is. Well, no, it's certainly waste.
It's all the byproducts that our body doesn't want.
So I think I was going to hit you with a marriage advice question that I received. We've known a few people that have been married at various ages, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the question that I got most recently was, what is the best age or ideal age for someone to get married? Do you think there's a too young? Is there a too old? Et cetera.
That's an interesting question.
That's what I thought. I mean, at least a good one for us to do our first marriage question. Feel free to send us any questions for advice. If you want some really shitty advice, send us a question.
Absolutely. So I think that in the olden days, like our parents' age, people got married young, and that was just what was expected. That was the norm. And we have now morphed into scenarios where the males work, the females work, and I feel like it's more realistic for people to get married a little bit older. Like, I think that also in the olden days, people didn't get divorced. Like, it just was less socially acceptable.
Well, people died at 37 too, so it's not like you had to put up with each other that long.
Yeah, and even if you did, and if you didn't die, it was the norm. It just wasn't as acceptable to get divorced. So you were staying with somebody even if it didn't work out. And it seems like when you're going through your 20s, you're so young, You're experiencing life. You're experiencing life off of your mom's tit or your parents' payroll or whatever. You're like finally going out and you're going to change so much. And then by the time you hit your 30s, you're a completely different person. You're creeping up on adulthood. And it seems like so many people realize they're not with the right person. And I feel like I've seen some friends do that. They struggle with that because they rush off and they get married too soon. And it's like, why fucking rush to get married? And so I think that 30s are a good age, latter 20s. But, like, getting married too soon, like, why fucking rush into it? You're not financially ready. You have so much learning to do. You have so much life to live.
But, I mean, what if you find the right person? What if you and I had met, instead of meeting when we were in our young 30s, what if we had met what if we met 10 years earlier and I was 20 and you were 32 or 22?
I don't know. What do you think?
I'm not sure either. I mean, like, your statement a moment ago seemed to imply that there was there's a good age, and honestly, like, I kind of agree with that too. That there's probably a better age.
It's more the 5%. It's like the low end of the bell curve now.
Yeah. So I mean, on the one hand, I do think, like, given where we're currently at in society, I do think maybe there is, like you said, right around the 30-ish age, that's probably the best time to get married, and that if you get married too far below 30, that might be a little on the too young side. Is there a too old? I mean, if you want to have kids, obviously there's probably a too old, right? I mean, you don't want to wait till you're 50 to try to get married and then have biological children, not adopt.
But at that point, it's I think still more probable that they have, maybe it's their second marriage, or maybe they already have kids.
Yeah.
And I guess that my opinion is driven by, obviously, we got married in our 30s. And I saw friends, more family get married in their younger 20s. And they're still married. You know, my brother and sister both got married when they were in their young to mid-20s. But they both had kids a little bit earlier. You know, they went through some struggles, but they're still, I feel like they're both doing the best that they've been together. Like, I think their marriages now are incredibly strong, but they went through some challenges at first.
Do you think maybe those challenges are inherent to, like, kind of growing as a person during your
totally what
20s?
comes up
and
for
then,
me,
and then when you hit your 30s, you're maybe a little bit more
grounded.
Yeah,
you're more
grounded.
mature.
Yeah, precisely.
100%.
And then you're a little bit more ready for that relationship. So even though those relationships formed prior to when they were in their 30s, those relationships formed when they were in their late teens and early 20s, that maybe that they weathered those storms of the 20s and then got to their 30s, and then they were able to settle in more and say, you know what, this is really, really good. But I mean,
But they went through some hell.
I'm sure they did.
They did. Or I shouldn't say hell, but they went through some definitely challenging times. And looking back, this is cool conversation because I went through some challenging times. I was struggling being single. It's a tough time to be in that serious of a relationship. And I feel that when you and I got together, I just knew. And I don't know if it's because I was emotionally, mentally ready, if it was just you, or if it was a combination.
It was totally me.
But I felt mentally and on a maturity level ready. I feel like when we're younger, you know, you're just not quite as ready, you know? And like, because love can be scary. Like, that was the biggest thing that surprised me, is that it's fucking scary as shit to have these insane feelings for somebody and want to give your heart to them and trust that they're going to take care of your heart and blah, 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 all that kind of stuff. And so it's like whoa, this is intense. It seems like if you're a little bit older, you're more able to deal and kind of take care of that.
I think so too. I mean, I think you're maybe when you get older, you're a little bit more, self-assured and confident, and it's a little easier for you to then be open with people. And you mentioned the communication, so that's very important that you're able to talk about things that sometimes are kind of hard to talk about, that are still important for a couple to discuss. And
I fucking love you.
I love you too. Thank you, honey. I love you. But, I do, on the other hand, I do sometimes wish we had met when we were both a little younger, because I feel like I would not have to jack off on some dude's microscope slide next week. You know what I mean? I feel like maybe we'd have had a little bit easier time getting you knocked up. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm praying for twins or something, but,
Honestly, I'm okay with twins at this point.
Whatever gets us closer to number 4, right? We gotta pop 4 out of them. I mean, all I'm saying is that I'm gonna have to jack off in some kind of sippy cup.
We need to fuck way more. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, I mean, that's probably
part
that
of it.
too. It's probably that too.
We're too fucking busy.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Oh, we don't have the energy of 20-somethings.
No, I mean,
it's probably a thing. I mean, I'm almost fucking 40.
All right, well, now I'm really hard. Keep talking about that. Oh, yes.
My pubes are about to turn gray.
Jesus. All right.
Okay, so...
But we wouldn't know, right?
Yeah, they're not there. So
Please don't listen to this, Earl.
I prepared a couple of questions.
You prepared questions for whom?
For you.
For me?
And I'll answer them too.
Okay, well, shit.
So, first question.
Okay, what kind of questions are these? Just to let me know.
No,
okay.
You'll see.
It's a surprise. All right.
It's a fucking surprise.
We're
Deal
playing
with
the
it.
game.
Yeah. Play the game, motherfucker.
Motherfucker.
English.
Motherfucker. Do you speak it?
English, motherfucker. Do you speak it?
Say what? One more time, motherfucker. I double
One more time, motherfucker. I double dare. Okay, so first question.
Okay.
What is the most annoying thing you love about me?
The most annoying thing that I love about you?
Mm-hmm. And I will answer the question about you as well.
Something that you do that annoys me that I still love?
That you fucking love.
Oh, man. It's probably like when you squeeze me really hard. Like you'll just dig your fingers into my ribs almost. Sometimes my shoulder, but it's usually that part of me that's it's like the ribs and the side, like the obliques. And you'll just squeeze, and it's like those little delicate, almost ticklish spots on me, and you've got this fucking grip strength like a motherfucker. Like, I swear to God, when we're doing this jacking off into the cup thing, you're probably going to jerk my dick right off, because you got some grip strength like a motherfucker. You got grip strength better than the fucking world record holding deadlifting motherfucker on this whole fucking planet. You got some grip strength like a motherfucker. So it's like when you squeeze me, because it tickles, but it also hurts a little bit, and it's also like, oh my God, you're going to pop my continuous glucose monitor off. But also, it's very lovable because you're not doing it to piss me off. It's like just this cute thing that you do.
Emotion that I'm like,
oh my God, yeah. I never really understood like loving someone so much that you wanted to just squeeze the fucking shit out of them. But I feel like being close to you, I've come to understand that impulse a little bit better. So now you're going to answer that question?
No, I'm going to answer that question.
All right.
So, you sleep so fucking late.
Late?
Late.
Okay.
Like when you don't have something going on in the morning.
Okay. So you're talking about a random Tuesday, right?
You can sleep like you 80.
Like I'm 80? I don't think 80-year-olds sleep that well.
I think sometimes they can.
I think my grandma sleeps a lot, but I don't think she sleeps late.
I mean, they own a lot of drugs, so they can sleep. However, you look so cute when you do this little nuzzling thing. So you nuzzle your head up on the pillow.
So like I'm trying to burrow my head into the pillow.
Exactly,
almost?
Burrow your head in the pillow, and you have this cute fucking smile. And you're
probably because I'm enjoying sleeping, motherfucker. I'm like, this feels good, shit. I get to sleep in one day of the motherfucking week. And look, let's be real here. Sleeping in, what does that mean? I'm not sleeping till fucking noon. Tell everybody last time I slept till fucking noon.
If you have nothing else going on, you're sleeping till 10:30, 11 o'clock.
I sleep till 10 o'clock maybe once a month. What are you doing? What are you telling these people this shit for?
Bullshit.
What the fuck bullshit? No. See, this is what makes us such a great married couple, y'all.
Oh my God.
What are you talking about? I sleep till 9:30 at best with you around.
You're on fucking crack.
Plus I fucking work all the time. I work constantly.
If you have to get up, I agree. You get up. Half the time, I wake you up. Like, come on, say, let's go wake up daddy. No. That's what I always say to him.
No.
Yeah, honey, don't forget, there's a meeting at 9:30 and you're the primary person.
I disagree. We're fighting now. We're about to set the fucking example for married couples, motherfucker.
So anyways, it's so fucking cute. Even though you're sleeping in and I give you a kiss on your cheek and you just nuzzle up on the pillow and you have this cute little smile and you're just like snuggling up to the pillow and you're just like so cute and happy.
I'm happy when I'm sleeping.
And
it feels good, man.
It's just fucking adorable.
Yeah, it feels good.
Okay. Question number 2.
I feel like question number 2 has to go over better than question 1. Question 1 went horribly. Let's see if question 2 can go better.
So, since we have been dating, what do you think has cost you the most? Food.
This is a multiple choice question?
It's a multiple choice, and you can give a little bit more detail if you'd like.
I see, okay.
So food, alcohol, Fireball specifically.
Fireball is a subset of alcohol?
No, it's its own answer.
It's its own answer.
It's its own answer, yeah.
Shit, that's tough.
That's a good clarification. Or clothes, or other.
I mean, I feel like other would win by default if I was even going to entertain choosing that one. I'm not going to choose other. But I feel like if we threw in vacations and auto repairs and all other stuff, as a married couple, I mean, other is kind of like, hey, everything else. But obviously I'm going to go with, this is a tough question. Why did you have to make Fireball its own thing? Oh, this is hard. Okay, so I'm going to go alcohol. Simply because Fireball is relatively cheap. And I have kind of expensive tastes when it comes to alcohol.
You fucking do.
I do. Because for me, it's about quality, not quantity. I don't need a lot. I'm not a drunk. I don't drink every day. I don't need to get shit-faced.
Most days.
Well, I do live with you. So, look, I need a little something to get me through. But what I'm saying is that I'm not one of these guys who has to drink this whole bottle of... I know. Well, that's the point of this, right? It's to be sweet. I don't need to drink the whole bottle of, plastic bottle of vodka to get fucked up and forget who I am. I'm okay spending a little bit of extra. Give me a single barrel, a bourbon, something from Kentucky. Get me something that's a little bit more expensive and pricey, and I'll sip on it. I'll make it last very long. I'll put a nipple on that motherfucker and just sip, sip, sip a little bit at a time. I'll nurse that motherfucker for a long time. But I feel like because I have expensive tastes and because you also like to help me drink, and that really hastens things a little bit, even subbing out the Fireball, I feel like we probably spend more money on booze, really.
Although
food is close, because every time I look at the bill, when you and me go someplace, we eat, we drink, we do both, and you look at the bill, and let's say it's a $100 bill, it's 50-50 right down the middle. We spend $50 on food, we spend $50 on fucking booze, and I don't know anybody I ever fucking did that with. I don't know nobody that fucking drank
fist pump
this much. Yeah, fist bump. Team Almy. Go Team Almy. That's why we call it Team Almy, motherfuckers.
I mean, I think food wins, but I think if we
so you got a different answer than me. I chose alcohol. You're choosing food.
But I think if we were to look at, how often do we need to eat versus how often do we need to drink? So it almost is like, we need to eat to survive. So it has a higher priority. So it's like it would get a 1. I don't know how we would rate it, but
I think in terms of hierarchies of needs, food is a little higher than fucking booze. I'm sorry,
definitely on most days. But so it's almost like it has a ratio. So I would expect to spend for a normal couple, for a normal twosome. There's probably an acceptable ratio, 3-to-1.
3-to-1 what? What's the...
So $3 for every dollar we spend on alcohol.
So $3 food, $1 alcohol.
Yes.
You don't do that shit at all.
Yeah.
You like the opposite of that, motherfucker. You're like, I'll eat a hot dog, but fucking give me eight things of Fireball.
I know, right?
I know.
Yeah. So that's where, if we look at it in terms of a ratio.
Yeah.
Because obviously we need to eat 3, 4, 5 times a day.
Indeed. Yeah.
But alcohol,
Well, we eat for breakfast. We seldom drink booze for breakfast.
No.
Almost never.
I mean, only
like 4 times a week.
because you give me such a fucking hard time about it.
Well, I mean...
It's not even 10 o'clock yet.
Well, that's true. I'm not even awake yet.
Yeah,
If you tell the story, I'm not even awake yet. It's 10. I'm sleeping. You could drink as much as you fucking want. I'm not stopping you. I'm asleep making a fucking face doing this on my pillow.
That's a good point. You're fucking sleeping.
Yeah, drink as much as you want. Yeah.
Okay, so final question.
This is the last one? That's too bad. I was hoping we could go on with this. This has been so fucking enjoyable.
I know. Yeah. Okay. Well, don't worry. We'll work on it. We'll come up with more. So, if you could change one thing about me or our relationship.
About you physically or our relationship dynamic.
Yeah, what would it be?
Ooh.
I'd go easy on the physically part.
Yeah, that's a tough question.
I would maybe even steer away from physically. I didn't say physically. You actually added physically. Motherfucker, what are you trying to say?
I'm trying to say, you said
you want to change me physically?
I said, you said change about you.
What you got? What's your beef?
Look, I don't want to say bigger titties, but what comes to mind?
My titties have grown and gone up a cup size.
At any rate.
You think I'm fat?
Change about you or a relationship? Honestly, you know what? This question is fucking poison anyway. This is a trick fucking question.
I didn't even think of that, but
this is a trick fucking question. So you know what? I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth, motherfucker. I can't answer this shit. I'm gonna fucking get kicked in the nuts. I can't produce for these motherfuckers next week if you fucking kick me in the nuts for this shit.
Okay.
I gotta be able to produce some juice for these motherfuckers. Some dick milk.
If you could change one thing about our relationship.
One thing about our relationship. Okay, good. Because I don't want to touch the physical part.
Not me physically.
Look, I wouldn't change you physically.
Good.
But I don't know that I would change our relationship either because it's pretty perfect. So
is there any one thing? Just think outside the box.
Think outside the box. So you mean outside of the vagina? Outside of the box?
Yeah, that's actually, literal interpretation.
Because I was going to make certain changes to the interior of your vagina.
What the fuck would you change about the interior of my vagina?
Well, I was going to put these spinning balls in. I was going to remodel it so it looks like the inside of a tennis ball that I cut a hole into, because,
oh my
us
God.
guys, you know what we're into. I like fucking a tennis.
What is that called? The pussy thing?
The pocket pussy. Pocket pussy, yeah.
Great, so I'm not living up to that expectation.
Yeah, the problem with your vagina is it's not rubber enough. I mean, I could be banging some piece of molded rubber that smells like the inside of a new car, but, whatever. I have a real life vagina that I got to deal with. It's terrible. So I kind of wish you'd given me this. You'd fed me this question earlier. I could have slept on it. I could have rehearsed this. This is a tough fucking question. I feel like we're going to end this podcast with you pissed at me regardless.
That's too bad, bro.
So what would I change about us? Am I allowed to just make us millionaires, or it has to actually be some form of relationship dynamic?
I mean, it could be anything about our life.
Anything about our life.
What would you like to see more of, or more out of me? Want me to go first?
Yes, please. Would you please go first? That would be great. I'm a gentleman after all. I think ladies should go first. True. I was my thing. Is this going to hurt my feelings?
No,
I feel like this is going to hurt my feelings.
It's definitely not.
I'm a softie. It's easy to hurt my feelings.
It is, y'all. It is.
All right.
So I wish that you loved reality TV as much as I do.
Okay. Although that's fair. That's fair.
Wait.
You have more. There's more. Tell me. I'm waiting.
You do like reality TV as much as I do.
Yeah. I do like dick as much as you do.
Yeah.
So
that was a bad
mouth.
Example.
It was a terrible example.
I
don't. But to be fair,
I love how much you love reality TV.
To be fair, I love watching reality TV with you. I don't think it would be the same if I were to watch reality TV with anyone else, and certainly not by myself. I don't think it would be enjoyable at all by myself. But I will say, I don't love reality TV as much as you do. I enjoy watching it with you, especially certain things like The Bachelor, The Bachelorette.
Oh my God, I love watching that with
Bachelor
you.
in Paradise is the best. Bachelor in Paradise is my absolute
it.
favorite. The reason I love Bachelor in Paradise is they don't try to be all like serious, like, oh God, we're here to find real love, and I'm so serious, I'm so super serious that I'm going to date you for 6 weeks after this whole thing is over, where I'm going to propose to you and we're going to date for 6 weeks and then we're going to break up. Bull fucking shit. At least Bachelor in Paradise knows they're full of fucking shit and they're there for the drama and to get everybody drunk and act like assholes.
But they've had a couple of marriages out of it.
I know. That's how ridiculous this whole show is. It's because
crazy.
It's because they have just as much luck in the drunken Bachelor in Paradise in fucking Mexico getting people into serious, long-lasting, stable, committed relationships as they do on their fucking flagship show. Fuck them. I enjoy it for what it's worth. And you know what? I don't care. I don't care how gay this makes me sound. Guess what?
I fucking love it.
I've got a dick in my mouth right now. I don't care how gay it makes me sound. I like The Bachelor. But I also like the voice. Kelly Clarkson is fucking hilarious in The Voice.
She is like so funny. Leo, what is his name? Lionel Richie.
Lionel Richie. Yeah, Lionel.
He's actually my least favorite. Like,
but he's not on The Voice. He's on American Idol.
No, no, he's on The Voice.
No, Lionel Richie is on American Idol.
No, he's on The Voice, bro.
No,
Richie. You're right. He's on American Idol.
Lionel Richie is with Katy Perry.
Then?
Katy Perry being my favorite pop artist.
Katy Perry, actually, she has really changed my perspective by being on the show, and I think it's actually... So to this level, to this point, I actually really like the pop stars or the stars, celebrities being on these shows because you get to know them. And so it takes kind of this larger than life person, this person who, you know, most people dream of reaching their level, and they bring them down and you get to know them. And it's actually really... It's really entertaining to see. It's like you feel like you get to know these celebrities, and I love it. I actually really fucking love it. Like Shakira was on one. Usher was like the thing in the 90s.
Usher, baby.
Yeah, and so it was fucking
early
awesome.
2000s. Let's not date Usher too much.
2000s, you're right.
Usher,
you're right.
baby.
And he was on The Voice, and it was really interesting to see them kind of just their personalities and characters and stuff. So, so we digress. What's your answer?
Let me answer the question. Please, hold on. You're going to have to press pause on your love of reality television, okay? There's only so much time in this podcast every week, okay? And I got to answer the question. So, I think maybe just to be very, very safe with the answer to this question, very, very safe.
I know you want me to shave my vagina more.
I'm not going to say, more like very clean, you know, just shave it all off, bald. I'm not going to say vaginal rejuvenation because I don't think we can afford that surgery just yet. I don't think we can afford that just yet. I don't believe the insurance covers. I've looked into it ad nauseum. I've really looked into it, and I don't think our current policy is pretty good, but I don't think it covers vaginal rejuvenation just yet. We're gonna tighten that thing up though eventually. I'm telling you, if I gotta sew it up myself, Kegels.
Baby, I've been doing the Kegels.
Yeah. Well, what's gonna happen?
I mean, like once a week. Isn't once a week enough?
Once a week, twice a day.
Twice. What?
Oh, my God, you've been riding that bike too much. You put way too many miles on that bike. I'm telling you, I'm changing that seat out.
But I enjoy that toy.
I know. That's what I'm saying. That thing is huge. What do you think why do you not think I'm intimidated by that thing? It's shaped like an E.H. Taylor bottle and bigger and longer. It's huge. I look at that thing and I'm like, my arm is not that big. And I used to do steroids, for Christ's sake. My arm is not that big.
Well, your arm used to be that big.
My arm used to be bigger than that, but now it's pretty tiny. But at any rate, I think maybe if I just answer in the same vein as you.
Yeah, what's your answer?
I think that maybe it would be nice if you had seen Big Trouble in Little China more times.
More times. So what would be a good...
Well, I think 500 is a good start.
A start? Let's talk about bite-sized goals, buddy.
That is a bite-sized. Look, starting point is 500 times. 500 times starting point. It's the finest movie ever made.
Hello.
Also, how many times have you seen Conan the Barbarian?
Did I hear you right?
Yeah. 500. 500. Okay, it's a 2-hour film. It's not even 2 hours. It's probably
500. So that would be...
It's probably 95 minutes. So 95 minutes
Let's just go
times 500. It's like what? 900 hours. I don't know. It's not 1,000 hours.
It's like 600 minutes. If you do 500 by 95 minutes, that's 400.
750 actually. Because let's say it's an hour and a half. So that's 500 times 1.5 is about 750
minutes.
Yeah. That's not that bad. I mean, obviously, you're not going to do that over a short period of time. But look, our 3rd year anniversary is coming up. I don't want to say that I'm grading you on this, but I do want to say that. I mean, what I want to say though is that,
maybe you shouldn't.
You have a long time. We're going to stay married until I die, and that's going to be at least a year and a half from now. So you got plenty of time.
And that's another thing. I don't like it when you say that.
When I say what?
Talk about you.
My early demise?
Yeah.
Well, look.
Or when you just pour Diet Coke in your cup.
It's called black humor, which is not to say...
It's not fucking funny.
No, hold on. It's called black humor, which is not to say that it's a racist joke. It is to say that it's like not a dark... Funny. Yeah, it's like a dark...
Not funny.
Well, yeah. I mean, maybe it's not funny to you.
It's not funny.
Not everyone enjoys black humor.
No, so if I could change my answer...
All right, change your answer. What was the third question again? Remind people, because it's been fucking 45 minutes since we brought that motherfucker up.
If you could change one thing.
One thing about me. What do you change about me? Tell me. Hit me.
To get rid of your black fucking humor.
To get rid of my black... To get rid of black... What?
And not to say that's racial humor.
Okay, good. I thought you were making a racial comment.
It's to be dark humor that's not funny. Which would include you joking about you having a shorter lifespan. And people listening, you can't see the dirty fucking look I'm giving him. That's very serious.
It's a dirty fucking
look. And it's not fucking funny.
It's a terrible look.
I want to throw my pencil at him.
Don't. You're going to put an eye out, and then I'm going to die even sooner.
Your retinopathy would take over.
Yeah, I was going to say. I mean, I need both of these things, okay, in case one stops working, all right?
Your retinopathy will inhibit your ability to heal, and it'll just cause gangrene, and then you'll die. On that note. We hope that we talk to you next week.
I hope I'm around for that.
Yeah.
I do want to say thank you, everybody, for listening to this podcast. I really appreciate it. I hope that you are, if you're enjoying the podcast, I hope you're telling your friends about it.
All your friends.
All your friends.
Even tell people who aren't your friends.
Tell your relatives. In fact, tell your mom.
People you don't like.
Tell your mother-in-law about this podcast, and then you can bond with your mother-in-law over this podcast, as I have done over my ejaculate on a microscope slide. Tune in next week. We got some more bullshit on the way. We love you very much.
And maybe we'll have an update.
A baby update? Mm-hmm. We should be so lucky. Cross your fingers,
we'll see
everybody.
how many little guys are swimming in his what do you call it, dick juice?
Dick milk.
Dick milk.
It's in the dick milk.
Dick milk.
I don't think we're going to have results back in a week, but maybe in 2 weeks we'll know about the swimmers in my dick milk. Everybody, wait for the update on my dick milk.
Dick milk.
Peace, motherfuckers.
Sometimes I try to fix them, but I think I might be happy with my current way of living. It's just dope to be existing. I don't think I really care no more. Got my music, got my drink, I'm vibing, so don't kill it.